Hello and welcome to West Country Wanderings. Welcome to one of my canal series. Today I'm in the town of Bridgwater in Somerset and we're going to be having a proper look at the Bridgwater and Taunton Canal, which opened in 1827. It's got 7 locks on it. Originally it had 6 locks. I'm going to be walking hopefully the entire length. That's why I'm here. I've driven to here, but going to be catching the train back from Taunton to get me back to my car after completing the journey. It's 14.5 miles long and it starts off at Bridgwater Docks. It didn't originally, it started off a place called, I think it was called Huntworth, and then it was extended a few years later to Bridgwater Docks, and the plan then was to connect it through to the River Parrett, although there is no physical connection between the River Parrett and the canal and Bridgwater Docks these days, for reasons we'll explain later in the video. I've got somebody joining me today for this walk here. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning here. It's Easter Sunday. It's a fantastic day, so happy Easter, though this will be obviously arriving a few days after Easter. So you can join me on this canal adventure here in the county of Somerset. Before we leave Bridgwater Station and head across to the docks and the canal heading down to Taunton, just to point this out here, at the end of the platforms here at Bridgwater, looking in a northerly direction, you have this yard here with sidings going off it. It originally obviously was extensive goods yards and facilities here. There was a line heading down to the docks themselves. But this here is still used, and the reason it's used, it's to do with the Hinkley Point nuclear power station. Obviously it's undergoing construction mode, but obviously there was an original one there, and they use that for nuclear waste, which is from the old site, and I do believe it will be used when the new facility opens, hopefully in a few years' time, to take it up, and I think it's then taken up towards Cumbria to be processed there. So I've walked round with someone who I'm going to introduce you to now. In fact, you probably recognise them.
Hello.
It's Louise from Southwest Sundays.
Nice to see you again.
And you, Louise, yes. Another canal.
Another canal. I think last time we met was, for a collab was Christmas time, wasn't it? We went to Exeter and went on a cruise on a canal. That was really brilliant.
That was excellent.
So we're going to walk it today, about 14.5 miles, a bit different. But yeah, it looks like a perfect day for it.
Really nice. It was, Easter Sunday. It's a little bit narrow, this canal. There's no boats on this canal like the Exeter Ship Canal, and obviously it's a lot narrower. I have done a video on Bridgwater Dock, so I'll link to that video at the end of this one, so that's a separate thing unto itself. Yeah. But the River Parrett, which is titled just beyond it. So so what are you looking forward to?
There's going to be some boats down there. It's really quite pretty down there, actually, towards like the locks and everything. You've got like the Somerset Boat Centre and Mornsville Lock, and there's a few narrow boats, and there's boat trips they do out there as well. It's going to be really nice. I'm looking forward to hopefully stopping off at a few places for refreshments as well.
Brilliant, that sounds a great plan. We'll catch up with you in a bit. Cheers. So 7 locks on the canal before we get to Taunton. The canal actually didn't come here. It was a few years later before it arrived to the dock. I think it was the 1830s. You can see the brickworks kiln there, and that's the first lock on the canal, which takes you down to the River Parrett, although there's no link between the two. But the first proper lock is here, which is marked number 2. And that's the one here. So we're going to start our walk heading along the towpath there. Now the docks at Bridgwater haven't yet been restored. It would be magnificent and I think a real draw for the town centre if they were like what's happened at the city of Gloucester with the docks there, which now bring in lots of tourists. But a lot of the history of it is still there for all to see. It looks like there's a River Parrett trail. The River Parrett's behind me. A lot of it's tidal and you can't walk along it, but it looks like there's a loop walk following the canal towpath here. So the bridge here was actually built in 1931, widening the original canal bridge, which you can just see under it, and it was designed and built by a company from Bath, hence why it looks like one of the bridges over the K&A. Perfect day for doing a canal side walk here today. We're still in Bridgwater. You wouldn't actually think so. We're actually still in the town centre. I'll drop a map in now so you can see where I'm walking by the canal here with Louise from Southwest Sundays. We're enjoying the wildlife and the weather. It's absolutely perfect. And later on we'll be heading into the Somerset countryside. Be able to stop there for a little impromptu picnic to have some snacks and drinks, which I'm looking forward to as well. But well, we both are. But yeah, it's lovely here. I've just seen an orange tip butterfly go flit by, and it's great seeing that bridge there that was widened in the earlier part of the 20th century. But it's just away from all the hustle and bustle of the town centre. About to go underneath bridge number 3, which has got an interesting acoustic. We had Louise singing in front of us, testing the echo. So it's good that I need to adjust the camera, don't I? Because you're not going to be able to see me. There, so there we're going underneath the tunnel now. But it's not a tunnel, it's just for carrying the road above. And it does look like they've now taken those wooden supports out, which were kind of blocking the towpath, but acting as a temporary structure to support the walls on both sides to stop it collapsing into the canal here. Louise has just found these seats here, which, what do you think they are then, Louise?
I wonder if they're the wood that used to support on the walls. And you've got things engraved in them, look. Got crack of the hammer. There's another one there, jolt of the pick. And there's another one, sinew and bone as well. Yeah, very interesting.
It is, yeah. It's good that they've kept them and not like use them. So you've got quite a lengthy seat all the way along there, which is really nice, especially on a warm day, just to rest on the walk to Taunton.
Yeah.
Thanks, Louise.
Cool.
Thank you.
I love these boats, Paul.
That's brilliant to see that.
There's any boats at this end. I know there's further on down by like Maunsell Lock and everything, but I've never realised there was boats at this end before.
What do you think that building? It looks like a.
I don't know, it looks like a
cafe
leisure
over
centre,
there?
like Channel Adventure. It says on the on the banner. But I think it's like a leisure centre, sports centre. You can see like a gym up there. And it looks like there's a cafe over there as well.
Purple Spoon, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
It's good to see
Find
some
out some
boats
more
on
about
our
that.
canal here as we make our way down to Taunton. Thanks, Louise. So we think this might be the YMCA with a gym and everything here, but as I say, it's great to see the boats. Also here, this location round about there is an aqueduct, so the canal is going over a little, well, kind of tributary of the Parrot, I guess, little leak there, to drain the fields over here, which is an eco park called Meads Eco Park, just where Louise is walking now. So Louise has found this pond here in Bridgwater. It's called Brown's Pond, quite a bit of history behind it. It was part of John Brown's tile and brick making works and was referred to at the time as Brown's Pit. The brick yard spread from the pit through to the banks of the River Parrot, and in the early 1900s it featured on postcards illustrating as a local area and natural beauty spot by what was Sedgemoor Council. Louise has just found this. What do you think this is, Louise?
Well, on the side there it's got men's shed, so I think it's a men's shed, and that's where groups of men meet together. I think they like socialise and they make things, do things with their hands. But I think it's just a really good place for them to meet and chat, and I think ladies are included. I don't know about this one, but often in men's sheds I've heard that ladies are included in them as well these days.
So yeah, Louise has just pointed this out, the Somerset Levels and Moors shed, and I did one, or actually stumbled across one by accident when I did my monthly vlog at Axbridge, also here in Somerset. But here also I think they've got some blue bricks there, and I think at one time there was a goods loop coming off the main Bristol Exeter line, where we started the video at Bridgewater Station, off that line to here to serve the needs of the canal. And indeed here, by this private house, you'll probably be able to see that slipway there. Gorgeous garden though. So So we've now joined up with the River Parrett, which is literally just the other side of there, just before you get to those grey sheds there. Also here we've got some swans, which is in another pond here. I don't know if it's linked to the earlier we saw a Brown's pond here, but it's really good to see that. So we've done like a reverse D shape through the town. We're leaving Bridgwater now, entering into the Somerset levels proper, out of an urban area, following this delightful footpath here alongside the Bridgwater and Taunton Canal. It's the first, well, we've missed Pluto. I'm not sure if Pluto is in the centre of Bridgwater or not, but this is the planets, and they are placed relative to their distance from the sun. Yeah. So proportionally. So yeah, obviously not the distance, otherwise Pluto would be, well, yes, the other side of Greenland or something. But yeah, so this is the first one, Neptune. We'll see if we can look out for some more of them along the towpath here. Really interesting to see that. Do you know how long they've been here, Louise? Do you know?
Oh, years and years. I'm not too sure. It's a long, long time.
We'll see if we can find out. So yeah, we've got just over 20 kilometres to go, and we've done just over 3 kilometres from Bridgwater town centre. Both really enjoying the walk here. Looks like we've got another aqueduct here. There's quite a deep channel of water there stretching out towards the coast, going that way. I don't know what the name of it is. The River Parrett is over in that direction. We've got the M5 motorway ahead of us, and once we get past that, everything will quiet down a lot. So looking forward to get that. Lots of sheep and orchards over the side there. Now I'll just insert a clip now, because there's one bit where there used to be a channel, the original channel of the Bridgwater and Taunton Canal, and that was abandoned when the new section was built through the town centre towards Bridgwater Dock. I don't know the exact dates of that, but I'll put that in roundabout now with some more information. But we're just savouring the walk here. Duck just got into flight over there. So here we come to a delightful lift bridge over the Bridgwater and Taunton. It's also the site of the Boat and Anchor Inn, which is a pub and restaurant. In fact, it's one you can see from the M5 motorway. If you ever travelled south down to Exeter on the M5, you can actually see a sign painted on the roof advertising it. And right on cue, we've got a car going over the bridge.
So we're just walking past the Boat and Anchor pub. You can see it from the motorway often as you're driving across, and there's a really, really nice smell of roast potatoes and gravy and stuff. It's Easter Sunday today, so I think they're probably doing a really nice roast dinner in there today. It smells so good.
So we've got a look out here from the Second World War, pillbox. Lots dotted around the canal. On the other side of the canal though, you might be able to say those triangular things, which are tank traps, which would have stopped any tanks coming into this area, defensive area. So I have Louise with me now. We're walking along this beautiful towpath here.
So nice.
Do you want to tell my viewers, Louise, what you've been doing? Because you've had an exciting adventure recently, which is awesome.
Actually
got a connection to this county.
Just been back a week from America. I went over to Boston, stayed in Boston for a week, and I visited places from Boston with the same names as places in the southwest of England. There's actually quite a few, and I want to go back and explore more. But while I was there, I went out to places like Bridgwater, Taunton, and where else did I go? Somerset as well. The town over there called Somerset. It was just so amazing. It was just really lovely to compare the two places of each of the same name. Yeah, really fascinating. Had a great time over there.
Yeah, thanks for that. And Louise actually this morning has just published a new video looking at this town here, Bridgwater, which we left a few miles ago now, and its equivalent town in whereabouts is it in New England?
It's in Massachusetts. In Plymouth County in Massachusetts. Oh wow,
even more West Country connections there. Yeah. And I'll link to Louise's video of that at the end of this video. And yes, I've watched the first one, which went out last Sunday. I haven't watched the Bridgwater. Where was the Bridgwater?
So I went last week in my video to Somerset. Somerset over there is a town in Bristol County. Loving all the Westland 2 connections is brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, look out for those because that's really, really interesting. It's quite different to the Bridgwater here and the other places there in New England. Thanks, Louise. Brilliant.
That's no problem. Thanks, Paul.
Having a tea and coffee break here by the side of the canal at the moment. What are you thinking of the walk so far,
Oh, I really enjoy it. It's so relaxing. It's really nice. It's just, yeah, it's just listening to the birds singing and everything. And chatting. It's just really relaxing. Really loving that.
The canal here, Bridgwater and Taunton Canal, is an oddity. It is a restored canal. It's actually restored in the 1990s, but it's not connected to the canal network. Now, often on the channel we look at canals undergoing restoration, like the Cotswold canals and the Wilton Berks Canal, and the canals that have been restored and reopened, like the Droitwich Canal in Worcestershire and the Kennet and Avon Canal goes through Bath onto Reading. That's a train passing heading north towards Bridgwater at the moment. But this is none of those. It's been restored, but it's not connected to the network. So this here is Standards Lock, an unusual name. I don't know how it got that name, but we're going to stop on the opposite side of the canal, over there, by the picnic tables, which is on the opposite bank to the towpath. The third lock from the direction of Bridgwater Dock. The other two being in Bridgwater themselves, the first one we've seen since we've left the town of Bridgwater. And it looks like it was restored, some new gates there that were put in 2010 by the Canal and River Trust who maintain this canal. So we've stopped here at this great picnic tables by Standards Lock here, just having something to eat and a drink. Got some juicy water. It's really, really nice and refreshing.
So refreshing.
Really nice. Next to a field of oilseed rape here, which looks such a vivid yellow. It's just
I have to wear sunglasses to look at it.
It's just so bright. just so bright. Yeah, I need to put mine on as well. The sun's coming out as well.
Yeah. It's so nice here, isn't it? It's so peaceful.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Just got the trickling of the water there in the lock, and it's just so peaceful, relaxing.
It is. Yeah. So it's a super walk. Highly recommend it. I say there are trains between Bridgwater and Taunton, so you can do it in either direction. I think
it takes about 10 minutes or so from Bridgwater between the two places. Taunton and Bridgwater takes about 10 minutes, 11 minutes on the train, really quick.
I think you said the bus is slow.
I think it's more like an hour or something on the bus, maybe a bit less than that. But
so yeah, train's running, I would
Mm.
probably go with the train up, so it's probably not too much money, it's not very far. But yeah, so we're going to carry on our walk now towards the town of Taunton, just savouring all the sights of nature here by the Bridgwater and Taunton Canal. Thanks.
So nice, I'm really enjoying it. It's great. We're at Saturn now. Tells you all about Saturn. Yeah, it's looking a bit bigger in relation to the sun. Yeah, I'm not sure how many more planets we've got. I'm not sure how many planets in the solar system.
6, I think, 6 or 7 would it be?
7? Okay.
Yeah, I've lost count.
So Taunton, 14.9 kilometres, is that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's lock number 4, which is King's Lock, complete with a little cute overbridge there for people on boats to get to the lock gates, which are here. Love the chains on these. I don't see that often on other canals, which are counterbalance weights to make it easier to open and close the gates. Another lift bridge here, which will take you on to the village or hamlet of North Newton, a quarter of a mile away. So there's a good finger post here. And yeah, this is a good location. So we're at 8 miles now away from Taunton, 4 miles from the village of Creech St Michael, which has appeared on the channel previously, and I'll explain why and where. There is a pub near here, so that's an option for stopping for a break or something to drink, and that's called the Harvest Moon, which is in the village of North Newton. So here looks like it's an abandoned lock. Well, I don't think it is. I think it's just brick sides, because there was probably originally a lift bridge here at this point, which is no longer used for access. The farm's either side of it. It's another planet here. This time it's a big one. It's the planet of Jupiter. As it says on the sign there, Jupiter is 1,323 times the density of planet Earth. Complex atmosphere posing many questions. Weather in separate rings. Enormous winds, one vast storm in space. With its giant red spot and 16 strange moons, Jupiter needs a book, not a plaque. I love that, yes, and that's so true. And as you can see, the planet has got bigger here. So we're currently at Lower Maunsell Lock, two locks here, and it's just generally known as Maunsell Lock, where it's a really nice cafe, and we've just had coffee and something to eat. Well, actually ice cream, Marshfield ice cream here in Somerset, was really nice though, lovely ice cream. Nice stopping off point here, so it's got good facilities here. There's a car park here, there's toilets here, and it's a great beautiful spot here where the boats moor up here on the canal. So we're going to rejoin the towpath and continue our journey down to Taunton. Oh, before we do that though, just to point out this fantastic mural here. Isn't that wonderful?
So, not far down from the other one, we've got Venus. Again, quite a diddy planet. Looks a bit bigger than Earth. I can see myself in it, I'm just waving to myself there. Yeah, and 12.4 kilometres to Taunton.
So this is the Somerset Boat Centre here on Bridgwater and Taunton Canal. You can actually stay in one of their boats, so stay on board Dylan here. Attractive narrow boat there with an outdoor eating area as well. That's lovely, isn't it? So this here is the lock-in, which is also a bar and kitchen, and I love the names of some of the boats. That one there is called Summer Sun, and the one next to it, Summer Days.
This is a scale model of the Sun. So we've been looking at all the other planets on the spacewalk as we've come from Bridgwater. Now we finally got to this point called the Sun. And then further on now, as we go into Taunton, there's going to be in reverse the planets, so starting with the one nearest and then going all the way down to Taunton, which is the furthest away, which I can't remember which one is which.
We've left Maunsell Lock, upper and lower there, with that delightful Somerset Boat Centre there. And actually I remember we both heard about the Somerset Boat Centre on radio show and a presenter, didn't we,
We
Louise?
did, yeah. I think it was on Jenna's show, wasn't it?
Yes.
Jenna
yes.
presents on BBC Radio Somerset. The train going by there. Jenna presents on BBC Radio Somerset, and she visited the Somerset Boat Centre to do a feature for the radio. And yeah, we heard all about it there. I believe they've got goats there as well, like well-being goats, pygmy goats. Didn't see them today, but I'd love to see them one day. But it's a really good facility, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Looks
It's.
a
I
really
can
nice
highly
place.
recommend the place there,
Yeah.
with the tea rooms one. Also, they got the pop-up restaurant there, and was it the Lock Inn? So that's
Yeah, the Lock
that's
Inn.
really good. Yeah. So we're talking about. Ooh, there's a bike coming.
Ooh, hello.
So we've both been on YouTube now. So I've been just over 4 years. You're coming up to your 4th anniversary
Well, it'll be 4 years this year.
yeah, November, I think it
Seems
is.
like it's only 3, but I think it is 4.
I think
It's
it is.
gone
Yeah.
really fast.
I know.
Done like over 200 videos. I think we're up to about 250 videos now.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What sort of things out of making all your videos for YouTube, for your great channel Southwest Sundays,
Mm-hmm.
what is the bit about it that you enjoy most?
Oh gosh, it's difficult to say. I really like going out and discovering new places. I love exploring, being adventurous. And as I said, I've just been to America, but that was a bit different. All around the Southwest, I love exploring the Southwest and sharing that with people as well. I find such joy in discovering these places, and it's really nice to share with you guys. And also, I love the editing as well. I love sitting at home. Sometimes it's a bit frustrating, but most of the time, it's really enjoyable and relaxing to edit. Spend hours and hours on a video, like 10 minutes long, but it's just a really relaxing thing to do.
Yeah, I find that with the editing sometimes, if you've had an enjoyable day out and then you're at home with like headphones on or listening to the soundtrack again and looking at the clips and photos that you took, you're almost like reliving the whole day again.
You are,
So if it's like a
true.
rubbish day outside, you had a nice walk in nice weather and you're at home editing a walk you've done, say on a beach or by a canal or river, whatever it is in the countryside, and you're reliving it again, and obviously you're
that's
putting
for
your own creative stamp in it. And I agree, that's one of the most enjoyable parts of doing YouTube,
Yeah,
isn't
I
it?
really
It's
love
just
doing it, yeah.
for
Some
me.
people hire editors, don't they? And I don't know. I think I would prefer to do my own editing because you
Yeah.
can really portray how you experience something and can be creative. I don't know that I really want somebody else editing my
I
videos.
wouldn't,
because
no, because it's
it wouldn't
taking
come
away
across.
your creative
Yeah,
control, isn't it?
yeah.
Then the other thing I would say is that I love reading everyone's comments on the channel and replying to those, and also seeing what you think, because sometimes it may have triggered a memory of going to a particular place in the southwest, and it's great getting all that feedback from you, isn't it?
That's
So
true. Yeah.
oh, we have a railway thing. So if you follow my railway series, you may well be interested in what's coming up next. Thanks for that, Louise. That was great.
That's okay.
And I'll just show you this coming up ahead. So what we coming up here is Coglow Junction. If you've ever caught a train going into the further down the southwest, down towards Exeter, Plymouth and Cornwall, or coming up from Somerset from Taunton, catching a train towards the London direction, you'll be familiar with this junction, which is a flyover junction. The line heading south towards Exeter flies over the two tracks that turn right heading towards Castle Carey, Reading and London, which means it makes the journey a lot quicker in terms of there's no hold-ups with the signals having to change for two trains travelling in different directions. It's a very well designed junction here, Coglow Junction, which I think is named after the adjacent Coglow Farm.
Look, the yellow cottage with the orange side behind it and the reflection through the trees. It's beautiful.
So we're still on the walk to Taunton, following the towpath. Really enjoy it. This is a very, very quiet section. We've probably been walking about a mile or two. Haven't seen another soul, no cyclists, runners, walkers. nothing and nobody, and it's been perfect, lovely light over there, golden light, just over the other side. I'm not sure that's a corn wheat field over there. It's just been cut, I think, which is great. It is in the water. Yeah, Louise just said it was like reflecting the colour in there. We're making our way to Creek St Michael. I got that right, have I? St Michael? Yep, it's Creek St Michael. Yep, because I keep getting it, calling it something else. Now, the reason you may remember that, or you may not if you haven't seen the video, was a little while ago now. Well, sometime last year, I did a video looking for a lost canal. So not a found canal like this was restored in the 1990s, but a lost canal. And that lost canal was the Chard Canal. And just up here, the Chard Canal joined this canal. Train on the main line there, heading into Taunton. And the reason that's significant, part of the story of the Bridgwater and Taunton Canal, was this was part of a scheme. Indeed, there were many schemes to join up the English Channel with the Bristol Channel at Bristol to connect it up. There was one such abortive scheme, and they only built an arm of it near the town of Frome, also here in Somerset, which I covered in a separate video, and they didn't get very far with that. As I say, literally just that arm of that canal was built for about 4 or 5 miles around the town of Frome. The Chard Canal, however, was built, it was opened, and it had 2 or 3 significant tunnels, and I went looking for those tunnels in that video, and I'll put a link to that video as well as Louise's video in the end of this video. But I'll show you, just if you haven't seen that video, where it joins up with this canal here. So yeah, when this was opened, it was part of that scheme, but it was never to be. It never became a full scheme. Obviously from Taunton you have another canal heading further south, which goes on down to the Devon town of Tiverton, which I have again touched on here on my canal series, and that of course is the Grand Western Canal, now looked after by Devon County Council. So here in Creek St Michael is where 2 canals originally met, the Taunton Bridgwater, which we're currently walking on, and this line here of the Chard Canal, which heads down to the South Somerset town of Chard. And I say I'll link to my video I did about that canal at the end of this one. And that's the only section of the Chard Canal in water, I believe, which would have gone on across a small aqueduct over that stream. Well, we went underneath the M5 earlier in the video, and now to get into Taunton we're going to go under the M5 again to reach the county town. So we're now at Bathpool. For some reason the swing bridge there is left in the open position, so you can't get across to Monkton Heathfield, which is along that way. I don't know why that is. Just ahead of me here though, we've just taken a couple of selfies there by that bridge for our social media and also for our thumbnails for this video, so you've probably seen one of those already by now. But yeah, Louise is just filming these swans here coming.
Hello. Hello. You want some food? I don't think you've got any, sorry. Some yoghurt? I don't think you'd like yoghurt though.
It's just under 3 miles now to the town centre of the county town of Taunton, which is where I'm going to be able to catch a train back to where I left my car in the town of Bridgwater for the start of the walk. It's been a really great walk, but we'll do some closing bits when we get into the town centre. Hope you've enjoyed the walk so far.
This here is still Bathpool. I really like it here, where the boats are all moored up and everything. I think it looks really scenic, really pretty. I've got a nice sunset there. I'm right in there doing the same sort of thing. Nice. Hey. by the River Tone now, just to my left hand side, and the canal, and it's a place called Firepool, that's where we are.
And there's a building over here, isn't there, Louise?
Yeah, I think it's very, very faint writing now. I think it says Van Hoosen, and I believe from looking at previously that they're like a shirt manufacturer or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yes,
Yeah.
they were. Yeah, so I think they had I'm not sure if it was a factory here or whether they used this as a storage warehouse, because that used to be, we're at the back of the railway station here, so that's just over there, and there was a whole network of goods yards around here which have since closed, and now they're building apartments in the area, so that would have been around here.
Is that where they were fired? Is that kilns?
Kilns, yes.
I don't know.
So I think that's where the name came from, wasn't it? Fire pools. So you had got these kilns underneath the warehouse here in Taunton.
You might recognise this as Firepool. Look, it's very pretty down here. I'll show you the weir just to my left hand side as well on the river.
So we're here at Firepool Lock, which is next to Firepool Weir, and we think that's named after where you had those firing kilns there underneath the Van Hoosen building there next to the railway station. So this is the end of the canal. This is where the canal enters the River Tone. What have you thought about the walk then, Louise?
I really loved it. It's been such a really nice day. It's been like how many miles? We're on 23.26k at the moment. That's from Bridgwater Docks. But it's just been a really nice, relaxing stroll, really. We've taken our time. We're nearly on 8 hours of walking. We're really taking it at a leisurely pace, but it's been really lovely and very chilled.
I'd like to thank Louise for joining me on this collab today here on West Country Wanderings, and I'll link to Louise's videos, Southwest Sundays.
Thank you.
Check out her channel if you're not already familiar with it. I can highly recommend it. If you like the sort of content I do covering the West Country, you'll love Louise's channel and all the areas that she covers here in the West Country and Southwest as well.
Cool. Thank you very
thanks so much.
Paul.
It's been
a
really enjoyable
Thank you.
walk. I've really enjoyed it.
Really,
so thanks
very
for
enjoyable.
accompanying me today on the walk.
Thank you.
Hope to see you all again very soon. Thanks for now. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Brilliant.